mountain number 4 is the second par 5 here on the mountain course, and it's really a good scoring opportunity some days, and then a really challenging hole on others. It really just depends on the weather conditions and the course conditions on that day. This morning, for example, it's pretty cold this morning, a little bit chilly out, and we have a little bit of a prevailing headwind hurting us off the tee and on our second shot. So today it's probably more of a traditional 3-shot, be happy with par, maybe have a good look at birdie. But on other days, you might be able to reach in 2 and have a great look at eagle. So you really want to take that into account with how you decide to play the hole. But off the tee here, you have plenty of room to hit the ball. Really the only obstacles are a couple of fairway bunkers down the left and right hand sides that are easily avoided if you just favor some of the more open sides of the fairway. And then we have a wash along the whole right hand side of this hole that's filled with grass. It's technically a penalty area, but it really is not too bad to hit out of if you do find yourself in there. So take a little more conservative line just to stay away from those bunkers, but go ahead and let it rip here and set yourself up for the second shot. All right, before we go ahead and find our second shot here, I just wanted to mention this penalty area that I talked about earlier before our tee shot. This runs all the way down the right-hand side of the hole here, and you'll see it marked with these red stakes every 50 yards or so. And the reason for this is this area to my left here and to the right side of the hole is not maintained quite the same way as the rest of the golf course, and is very prone and really designed to control a lot of water flow after rainfall and stuff like that. So there could be times where the conditions don't match the golf course conditions, or it's a little bit wetter over there. And really this penalty area is just here so that you have an option for relief out of that zone that can get you clear out of that zone, rather than some of the other traditional unplayable lie options that you can find. Now these stakes will run all the way down this side of the hole as well as the other side of the wash here. So anything in that area gets you that normal penalty area relief. But again, as I also mentioned off the tee, it's really not a bad place to play from most of the time. So if it's been a pretty dry day, we haven't had a lot of weather recently, don't be too worried about hitting over into this area off your tee shot. Again, make sure you're really just avoiding those bunkers with that tee shot. But again, we have the penalty area all the way down the right-hand side here that you just want to be mindful of. And if you do find yourself in there and the conditions aren't to your liking, you do have the option for a penalty stroke to get out of the penalty area based on where you entered it. So that explains a little more about why we have this penalty area here and how to take your relief should you find it. All right, well, after a tee shot and a pretty good second shot here into this layup zone, we have about 125 yards left to the blue flag that's in the back center portion of this green. Now this green's very deep, so the difference between a red, white, and blue flag could be quite a big difference, so make sure you are paying attention to that. And then this green is unique, has a lot of different levels to it, so it's also important if you've never played the course before, maybe ask for some help from someone in your group, or even if you have played before, make sure you're really paying attention to where that hole location is and trying to hit a shot that fits where that hole is. So anything in the right portion of the green is typically a little more accessible. Anything in the back portion of the green, you have a lot of ways that you can get the ball to it. There's slopes all around the edges, as well as a couple slopes right in the middle of the green that'll kind of kick your ball back into that area. But if you do have a flag that's in that front left portion, you've got to be very careful with that. You don't want to miss left, or it's a very difficult chip. And then anything too far right becomes a real risk of a 3 putt or worse. So be a little more cautious with that front left hole location. Maybe even lay it short of the green if you have to. It's a little easier from there. But on any of these other hole locations, just think about where you might be able to use some slopes to get the ball closer to the hole. But again, today, back middle portion, 125 yards. This is a kind of a green light here for us to just go right at it. I'm going to take a pitching wedge and just kind of hit it a little bit low, get it to chase back to that hole location, and see if we can't have a good look at birdie when we're finished. Alright, so in tough conditions like this, all we could ask for was a good look for birdie like that. We'll take our par and we'll move on to the next hole.